Back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is the reports from the gag order. This is about the DoorDash driver. Her name is Molly McDaniels. On November 23rd, 2022, at approximately 20:39 hours, came to the Moscow Police Department to be interviewed about her presence in the area of 1122 King Road during the early morning hours of November 13, 2022. Molly was identified as being in the area through records obtained from DoorDash via a search warrant and was confirmed as being in the area based on a Google geofence warrant which was obtained as a result of this investigation. I was accompanied by the FBI Special Agent Alex Skelton during this interview. Molly told me she worked for 12 to 18 hours on that night, November 12th to the 13th, and received 3 orders in the King Road / Quinn Road area. 2 of the orders were at Queen Road apartment complex, which is immediately to the east of 1122 King Road. And Molly said the delivery at 1122 King Road was a final order for the evening. Molly said she could not find the 1122 King Road address as the address number was hidden by the porch light, which caused her to remain in the area for approximately 15 minutes. Molly also stated her Google Maps told her to go to the parking lot immediately behind 1122 King Road. Do you remember that in the beginning there were some issues with the lights in Queen Road? I think they were busted on purpose. Let's not forget, Shorter lives there. Molly stated she entirely parked in front of 1122 King Road and could see a female in the top left window. So that's a toilet, I think, the bathroom of the 3rd floor. The 3rd-story bathroom. She saw the same female a couple more times in the same window, and she would duck down when Maddie looked at her. Molly. So when Molly kept on looking, at the 3rd floor bathroom window, a female was looking at her and ducking down. It happened a couple of times. Noticed all of the lights were on. Molly stated a map told her to walk into the back of the house, but she did not feel comfortable doing so because there was no path. Molly said she started to walk down the road, which runs north-south immediately to the east of the residence. Molly stated a tan sedan drove next to her while she was walking. Molly said there was one male driver and noticed he did not look at me. She said he looked completely zoned. So the driver who passed her by in a tan car, was it? So let's go back to this. Molly stated a tan sedan drove next to her while she was walking. Now what I found strange is I read this a couple of minutes before I started recording this. Do you remember in the beginning, the owner or manager of that gave the CCTV camera of Linden Lane to the police said that Linden Lane's camera She never said he caught a white Hyundai Elantra. She said a tanned color car, a beige color car. So what is going on here? Let's go back to this. Molly stated a tan sedan drove next to her while she was walking. Molly said there was one male driver and noticed he did not look at me. She said he looked completely zoned and just drove by her. Molly later stated the driver was white with blonde or red spiky hair. Could that be Jack D? Or David Lodge? Lodge has more blonde, dirty South blonde hair. Or dirty brown. Like it's kind of in between the dirty blonde color hair and dirty brown. I apologize. I was thinking about Dirty South is what 4chan was calling him. I was wondering where I heard that name before. So going back to the guy with red spiky hair who was driving a tanned sedan, drove next to her while she was walking. That's Molly. Molly said there was one male driver and noticed he did not look at me. She said he looked completely zoned and just drove by her. Molly later stated the driver was white with blonde or red spiky hair. That sounds like a lot. Or Jack T. David Baracha has black hair, curly hair. Molly also noticed the dome light in the car was on when it went by and later told me the male was wearing a light-colored collared shirt. That wouldn't be Kohlberger. White-colored collar shirt. But she said red blonde, spiky hair. That sounds like lodge, and there's a party. Sounds like what the fraternity boys would wear. The shirts. And there was parties going on that night. Kohlberger was supposed to be dressed in all black clothing. So were there were there more suspects? Molly stated she walked back up to her car and drove back to the front of 1122 King Road, at which point she saw the address numbers. Finally, Molly said she placed the order at the front of the door, so she did not give the order to Zana. Did you actually knock the door? Took a picture and then left at approximately 4 a.m. And when did Kohlberger allegedly come there? 5 past 4? She would have met Kohlberger. During the time Molly was in the area of King Road residence, the white Elantra can be seen via the King Road camera, driving back and forth on Valentia Drive, and then entered the Queen Road loop at approximately 03:56 hours. At the point Maddie, I don't know why I keep on saying Maddie, Molly pulled into the front of the parking lot before she dropped the order off. The white Elantra pulled in behind Molly's vehicle. A grey Subaru Forester then exited the King Road at approximately 03:58. So was there another Subaru there? 03:58 hours. Did not mention seeing the white Elantra behind her at any time. Because obviously the white Elantra was made up. It was another white. I'm sure there was a white Hyundai Elantra 2011 to 2013 model, but it wasn't Kohlberger's. I continued to question Molly about her time near the residence. She told me she walked down Queen Road at that point with the flashlight out. Molly can be seen doing so on the footage on King Road. Also continued to tell me the female she saw in the upstairs bathroom window would duck down when she looked at her, described her as having long brown hair, and stated she could not identify the girl as one of the victims. So who would be in the third floor? I personally believe the victims were unalived by then. So who would that be? DM? DM has brown, long hair. Not very long, but quite long. Bethany Funk has more light blonde. Interesting. I continue to question Molly about her time at the residence. She told me she walked down Queen Road at the point with a flashlight out. Molly can be seen doing on the footage from King Road. Okay. Molly also continued to tell me the female she saw in the upstairs bathroom window would duck down when Molly looked at her. Molly described her as having long brown hair. Molly stated she could not identify the girl as one of the victims. Oh yeah, we were done with that one. Interesting. Where would the person be playing games with her? Maybe the crimes were done so they didn't understand what was happening. One of them ordered a DoorDash and they forgot to tell the others. Could that be possible? Approximately, they didn't want the police to clock on, maybe. Approximately 30 minutes into the interview, S.A. Skelton, I think that's a detective, requested Molly to take part in a cognitive interview. Oh yeah, cognitive interview. I like those kind of interviews. They're quite interesting. It's more like a Q&A. They just try to check your cognitive level of how you process things, decision making, thought, decisions, everything. They just want to figure out if you can understand. I think they weren't sure if her speech and everything made sense. Maybe she spoke too slowly. Maybe there was something wrong. And then the fact that she didn't look cognitively there. There's something lacking that they needed to make sure, because they just don't want to run any tests with her without her consent or anything, just in case she has mental health disabilities. Yeah, that's right. A cognitive test should be done no matter what. I wonder if it was done for Koberger. Something tells me she could have been actually high. There was something that for them to have noticed, maybe with the speech, or maybe, just maybe, like an example, maybe her development is much behind her age, or maybe they noticed something not completely cognitively right with her. So I wonder what the results was. Approximately 30 minutes into the interview, S.A. Skelton requested Molly take part in a cognitive interview. Molly agreed and S.A. Skelton began the cognitive interview. During this interview, quite strange. So maybe this is just a small cognitive test that the police do themselves. Because this can't be the proper cognitive test that they do to check where a person's rational thoughts are, and like how a person's development even is. Molly agreed. During this interview, Molly confirmed much of the information she already told us. So she was kind of cognitively there. So her memory is sharp. She wasn't that high after all. Allegedly. Molly was able to remember she had a dog with her during one of her walks. Wow, this case just gets better and better. It's really heartbreaking that 4 people are actually unalive. Others you'd be wondering, is this serious? It's like, bring everything in it. Now we have a DoorDash driver who's walking her dog. She may be a dog walker at the same time. Just like the corner, flexible. They do a lot of things. She's another Emma Bailey, dropping things off. Different kind of food besides real food, illegal food, to customers. No wonder they took a cognitive test of her. So she confirmed most of the things, so she wasn't cognitively there. I would see her memory was kind of there. That doesn't have much to do with the cognitive, but I wonder why they were taking cognitive tests of her. Was there something wrong? So the cops are saying that they went back to the footage. The cellular data showed that the tan sedan Molly saw was likely a light-colored SUV, which left the area. Light-colored SUV. That's interesting. Anything that left the area came into the area should be checked. Light-colored SUV. There's the black truck that's driving in front of Taylor Avenue that the tripod recorded. I believe that's Queen Kelly's father's or Dylan's father's black truck, or Dylan's stepmother's black truck. Did we see a SUV, a white SUV? Strange. Did they just made up poor Molly? Something's not right with Molly's interviews. Did she see Koberger? According to her, she did. But they're trying to say his car was parked behind her. She was busy walking her dog. They're busy taking a cognitive test of her, so they're not even sure if she's cognitively there. Wow. So that was the interview of Molly McDaniels. She is the DoorDash driver who allegedly dropped off the food at 1122 King Road. She dropped it outside for Zana, but Zana was already unalived. I never believed the DoorDash theory because Zana, Ethan, Maddie, and Kaylee were long gone. May they rest in peace. They were long unalived. So the person was looking at Molly from the window, from the bathroom window on the 3rd floor, had to be either my DM, BF, Jody, Jenna, one of these sorority girls. I think it was Dylan. Dylan has brownish hair. Kaylee and Maddie had blonde hair. Zana had black hair. I think it was Dylan or Bethany. Why were they ducking? Because they were waiting for the DoorDash driver, but they were scared who would be the DoorDash driver, and they wanted the DoorDash driver to leave the food outside. Because obviously the 4 victims, if you look at it from my way and in the way that I believe that the victims were all unalived before the figures were running at 312, then you would understand there's no DoorDash driver. They changed the timelines on purpose to make everything fit as neat as a shoe. something is terribly wrong. They had to literally, guys, understand this. They had to take a cognitive test. I'm not discriminating Molly M. But think about it. To take a cognitive test, that means she wasn't even intoxicated, but they couldn't figure out if she was cognitively there. That means her speech or behavior did not make sense to them. And she didn't see Koberger, and she seemed to pass the cognitive test. She remembered everything. So let me know what you think. Make this make sense. So did Molly actually see Koberger? Why did they take a cognitive test of her? And what kind of food was she delivering? Was it legal or illegal? I believe that's the reason they took a cognitive test of her. Behavior is easy to see. Poor woman, she's struggling. Please let me know what you'll think in the comment channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. She seems to be